Hey, this is me building a $3 million per year business in public. The way I always do these videos is I start them with some YouTube comment Q&A, and that's just to give you guys value, and it's also an engagement hack because it grows my channel every time you comment on it. Then I do some building and strategizing in public before finally doing some growth stats across YouTube, Instagram, and my products. So if you don't know who I am, this first time you're watching me, I do have another channel at 167,000 subs. Check that out. This is my daily updates one where I start with the QA, so I'm just going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, then answer YouTube comments. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them at the bottom of any one of my daily updates videos. It'll just like get to the community tab and then I'll answer them like I'm about to do here. So last question was from Bisector5343. Please don't bisect me. He says, hey Nick, I'm currently working with a digital marketing agency and I want to implement an AI chatbot into their website. However, they don't get that much organic traffic. Would it still be worth to have it there, or should I tell them it's better to have some form of traffic coming to their website before implementing a chatbot? What a great question. This is like a consulting and strategy take, not necessarily a building take. Because naturally, if you guys are trying to make more money and you're thinking, ooh, what's some way we can make more money? Well, I know AI is all the rage. Maybe we'll add an AI chatbot to our website. But then the AI chatbot doesn't talk to anybody. Is that really going to make you more money? No. So you're stumbling on a universal problem with a lot of service businesses. And that's that they just don't have any lead gen whatsoever. And so the actual point of value, the actual bottleneck that you could fix for them is usually lead gen. So I don't know how many people visit their website on a daily, monthly, yearly basis. It's hard for me to really suggest exactly what to do next, but you're on the right track here with the thinking. And the thinking is usually, hey, let's like get leads first and we'll worry about optimizing how we deal with them and nurture them and optimize the conversion rate for them later. In your opinion, what's the best AI automation to sell? And could you make a video on it? The best AI automation to sell is something that increases or encourages that lead gen that we talked about. So one of the major systems that I sell is a cold outreach system where I basically build distribution for somebody from scratch for like $200 or $300 a month ongoing. So they will have 0 leads in their pipeline, usually some agency. And then after the system is done, they will have, I don't know, like 30 leads a month enter their pipeline that want to book calls with them and stuff. This is a game changer. And it's also very easy to justify an investment for if you're a company whose bottleneck is lead gen, like most companies under maybe $50,000 to $100,000 per month. So think about it that way. I'm solving the most dire problem for them, which is that they don't have any leads getting into their business in the first place. I'm charging them $3,000, $4,000 a month for it or whatever, but that's fine because without me, they don't even have a business that's making more than $3,000 or $4,000 a month to begin with. Yeah, the best automations to sell are ones, in my experience, for small to mid-sized businesses, the ones that are helping the top of the funnel. Now, if they had instead of an outbound system, some sort of inbound lead system that was running, but it wasn't really generating them a lot of leads, I would do some sort of speed to lead system. So anything that is close to the top of the funnel, whether it's outbound or inbound, helps a lot. And that's what I'd recommend. Magic Shadow says, I found that the leads from Apollo and Apify aren't very good. I know they're really cheap for anyone just getting started, but do you have any lead sources that you think are better? I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but I got a video for you. This guy over here says, hey man, the leads are weak. I can't close any of these leads because they suck. And this fella over here says, the leads are weak. You're weak. To be honest, I don't mean to shit on you, but there'll always be excuses for why leads aren't good. There'll always be excuses for why you can't close deals. At the end of the day, your ability to win these leads is almost entirely in your control because there exists certain copy, certain messaging, and certain sales tactics that will work on that lead. Human beings are sort of machines at the end of the day. And if you provide the right input, you get the output that you want. So rather than complaining about the lead quality, which is valid, but I'm just trying to get your mindset in the right place, I would focus on becoming better at servicing those leads and at setting appointments with those leads. Because if you can get good setting appointments with leads that may actually be subpar, you'll be incredible and tremendous servicing leads that, might be a lot warmer or whatever. Okay? It's not that they aren't very good. It's just that you are not very good at servicing their needs right now. Do I have any lead sources that I think are better? Yeah, LinkedIn Sales Nav. They're just fresher. Apollo is like a couple of years late, I would say, and a lot of like the leads are cached for a year or more. So these people have been on those lists for a while, so they've just gotten a lot of outreach, and their bar for outreach is necessarily going to be higher. It doesn't sound like you are currently capable of getting over that bar pretty consistently. But LinkedIn Sales Nav just is fresh leads, people that are joining LinkedIn. Two Stuff says, hey Nick, if you had to sum up your life's achievements and the point where you have reached in a sentence, what would that be? Well, that is, man, so many interesting knowledge problems. I've done cool stuff and made some money, but not enough cool stuff. Kendromeda says, Nick, I'm running a free outbound email trial for potential clients without access to their domain. In past case, a client didn't allow me to use their email domain, so I'm planning on sending outreach emails using my own inbox and domain. What's the best way to write the email if the sender domain is different from the client's? Well, this is a pretty standard problem. The sender domain will always be different from the client's because you're just not going to use their actual domain basically ever. You're always going to spin up some sort of like secondary domain. For instance, my business is called leftclick.ai, right? I don't actually send from nick@leftclick.ai when I do cold emails. What I'll do is I'll send from nick@getleftclick.com. And then the idea is I'm doing this because it like distances and safeguards my actual domain from all the volume that I'm sending. So you're actually not really in any problem whatsoever. It's a very similar issue that you would have regardless of whether or not you worked with them through this, through this way. Should I include the client's website or calendar link? No. Will I using a different domain affect trust or response rates? No. I mean, like minorly, yeah, but no. This is just something you have to do. George says the article was golden. Going to use it to plan my next few months too. Thank you. I've since written a new one, which I think is a lot more representative of where I want to go. It's called The Next Few Months of My Life, right over here. Yeah, definitely give that a go if you guys want to see what I'm doing next. It's just too much to fit into a YouTube video. I think it's like 9,000 words. Omar says, how has the financial success changed your life? I'm curious. Start doing some lifestyle content here and there, even if minor. I think people would enjoy it. Day in the life vlog. The reason why I've always been hesitant to do any sort of day in the life vlog is just because my days are pretty boring, I think. The vast majority of it, I'm just sitting in front of my laptop doing the same revenue generating activities that I tell you guys to do. So my revenue generating activities might look a little bit different these days because obviously the brand has taken off and it's been very successful. And because of that, I just have so much more distribution and leverage that I spend more time on the brand than I used to spend on my agency. But yeah, for the most part, I just like wake up and then I sit right over here in this chair and then I just type for about 10 hours or so. It's boring, right? There is no real day in the life, I think, for people that are on the up and up. At least in my case, because my business model is all entirely digital. I think if I were like, some door-to-door sales guy, or if I was like traveling the world to do like high-ticket deals, it'd be different. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't really think that's that valuable either. It's more edutainment. It's more like me sucking my own dick. It's just like pointless. Why would I do that? It's like, oh, this is me at the gym, bro. It's like, well, it's me in a box again for freaking 2 hours. I can understand that it can be motivating to people that want that sort of life, but I'll be real. I don't think a lot of people want my life, at least not right now. I mean, sure, I have a ton of money and I'm making a big impact. It looks cool from the outside in, but like there's a lot of work that goes into it, right? Work tends to be the separation line between the people that don't have stuff and then the people that do have stuff. Well, I guess we could get all philosophical. I'm not going to get super philosophical here, but yeah, a lot of the time, if you don't have something, like work, the work capacity is the issue. A friend of mine said something once that was very poignant to me, and I don't know if he got it from somewhere else, but it's always stuck with me. And it hurts a lot to hear, and it hurt me a lot to hear because he told me this when I was making like $1,500 a month and I was broke basically. And I was like literally going to the grocery store and I was looking at like the cheapest brand of rice and then I was buying the cheapest brand of beans and I wasn't buying meat because meat was really expensive compared to rice and beans. I think I was bitching to him and I got home one day and I said something along the lines of, man, it's not fair. I'm not making enough money. I'm trying so hard and nothing's working. And he looked at me and said something like, everybody on earth gets paid exactly the amount that they deserve. And it just blew my mind because it sounds like one of those trite asshole, extraordinarily like unnecessarily alpha male bro things to say. It's like you get paid exactly what you deserve. But for being pragmatic, it's true. You're getting paid $5 an hour to do some shitty dishwashing job that you don't want to do. At some level, you deserve this because you have yet to take the actions to get a $15 or $20 an hour job, let's say. If you're in a partnership with somebody and they are treating you unfairly, they're giving you 30% or something and they're taking 70% and they keep on skimming you off the top, it is your fault and you're getting paid exactly what you deserve. Because you could have not made it into that partnership in the first place. You could have decided not to do that. Or B, you could have enforced better boundaries. Or C, you could have become the sort of person that is more valuable than 30%. Likewise, if you're running a business and your average order value is $500 or whatever, you deserve that $500. You were unable to position the product in a better way, and so you were unable to make that much more money. It is unreasonable not to assume that is the case because that's how the economy works, right? That's how capitalism works. And most of us were born or live most of our lives under this capitalist framework. That is the game. And just like when you start a new game, if you are incapable of being good at that game, obviously you just haven't spent enough time getting better at it. When you get your ass kicked in Super Smash Brothers, it's because you deserve it. So I guess that's one thing that I'll mention on that I don't think a lot of people realize. Okay, Abib says, it's me again. I've gone through your N8N tutorials and begun creating a few workflows. Budget is tight at the moment, so I can't subscribe to every tool you mentioned. But given that, which workflow should I prioritize learning before I start pitching on Upwork and do cold emails? Great idea. I think probably get yourself a N8N subscription. Make sure it's an N8N cloud. Get Appify. And the reason why you get Appify is because if you have Appify and then you have Google Sheets, you could do like a million things. And then just get one of like the AI models family. So get like, Claude Anthropic, load that up with some credits, or get ChatGPT or the GPT suite of models using like the OpenAI API. Okay. That should get you like 80% of the way there, and you can do a lot of stuff with that. And then the rest of these, Email Finder, Phantom Buster, maybe just like add a few credits, and then you'll have like email enrichment flows capable as well. The mic I'm using is Samsung Q2U. Okay, says Ahmed. Thank you very much. Illusionzinx says, hey, Nick, love the value. I was wondering, how should I start my first cold email with someone with no case studies? You mentioned in your cold email videos about providing some form of social credit, but I don't really have any to provide. Should I be forward with them and mention I'm a beginner in my emails and I'm willing to work for free or low pay? No, you shouldn't mention you're a beginner in your emails. There are a couple things that like everybody on planet Earth is not going to like. And if you are somebody that is offering to do a service, but you have no experience providing that service, and they're one of the very first clients that you're talking to, they're not going to like that. So just don't ever say that. Just don't say, hey, I'm a beginner. Hey, I've never done this before. Hey, blah, 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 blah. Because think about it. If you're saying, hey, I'm a beginner, I've never done this before, and for that reason, I'm willing to work for free, you're also devaluing your service because you're saying I'm a beginner, so it's going to suck, and it doesn't have enough value that I could actually justify charging you. There's just no need to do that. No need to disqualify yourself. You can be a beginner. You just don't need to shout it from the rooftops all day. This is almost like a form of like ego protection. You're saying that you're a beginner because you are afraid of what people would think or something like that if push were to come to shove. I'll be honest, imposter syndrome never goes away. I still have imposter syndrome here. I'm sure the richest and most powerful people in the world still have some form of imposter syndrome. So just get that out of the way, and I think you'll just do a lot better right off the bat. Brother Nick, thank you for lending me the McLaren the other day. Left the key with the butler. Yeah, really appreciate it, man. Thanks for keeping it in mint condition. Wilfred says, hey, Nick, for my voice AI agency, I have an intro offer, database reactivation system that can get them 5 appointments in 10 days if they don't pay. I have no testimonials. 2 questions. The first one is in the outreach message. Would you propose a demo or a Loom video explaining how it works? If a Loom, please give a quick SOP on how to do it. I have no idea. I don't have any social proof yet. In brief, I just need you to tell me how you would do it if you were in my shoes. Thanks in advance. Yeah, great question. I love this sort of question. So how would I do it? I would split test this. I would have, let's say you're sending these manually. So let's do 200 leads. And I split test them into batches of 100. And I would do 100 customized Loom videos. And then I would do 100 hyper customized emails that include an offer to do a demo for them, or that they like interact with my voice agent themselves or something. So for the first 100 with the Loom videos, you say something like, hey, Pete, what's going on? Been following you for a really long time. Really love your stuff. I know this is out of left field. I wanted to send a video to you showing you how I think I could make probably another $5,000 to $10,000 a month for you with a simple database reactivation system. If you've never heard of this before, the way it works is XYZ. Anyway, by the end of the video, I want you to have everything you need to do this sort of thing on your own, because I really like you, trust you, respect you, been following you for a while. Really like your company, whatever the hell. Just make them feel like you've been, this isn't the first time you've done outreach. You've talked to them, or sorry, you've come into contact with their brand. I want to make sure you have everything that you need in order to do it yourself. So like, even if you choose not to work with me, and that's totally okay. I know giving value is how you get ahead in this industry. So I just wanted to give a bunch to you. And then, if you do, for whatever reason, want to work with me, just send me a message and I can sort it all out for you. It'll take less than 5 minutes of your time. And as I mentioned, I'm confident I can make you at least another $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Okay, so here's how it works. Boom. Then just run them through how the thing works. Okay. At the end, just talk about how much you like them and stuff like that. And then in the demo, just do the same thing over text. Just obviously you need to format it a little bit differently, make it a little punchier, make it a little bit shorter so that they don't have to read like a whole wall of text, and then offer to do a demo and say like, I believe so strongly in this that I'm actually like down to do a demo with you, down to show you this thing. And I don't know what you meant by demo here. I imagine they're just testing it on their end without even talking to you because you believe so strongly in the quality of your product. If that's the case, you could just find a way to link the demo. If you're only sending, 100 emails, if you're doing this super hyper customized, you can just send the link directly. That's okay. But if it's, eventually going to be some big high volume thing, you need to find another way to position the demo. Email says, thanks. That means a lot to me. No problem. Zaid says, sorry for the questions. I have them the same 14-year-old he answered before. Hey, Zaid, I have my own personal money, which is around $35 US. I should look into joining as a volunteer doing an internship? Check that out. Should I still be doing outreach, trying to get clients, and other copywriting formulas that would help? I don't really think that, I think that you'd probably very quickly run into major issues in any sort of sales flow if you're trying to sell to like any legitimate company at 14 years old. I don't mean that just to shit on you. I just think it'd be difficult. So there are probably much higher value things that you can do at your age that would not involve this level of friction where like you're trying to operate a company and you're very confident you can help people. I'm not saying that it is not possible. I think I had a 14 or 15-year-old kid do this with me. He reached out, he analyzed my funnel, and he sent me a bunch of value, and he was like, hey, can we get on a call? And I was like, yeah, for sure. I didn't know who the hell he was. I never talked to him. I had no idea how old he was. I got on the call. I realized he was 14 years old. Some things seemed kind of odd to me, just the way that he was answering my questions. The fact that I think he was like in a closet or in a bedroom and like trying to be really quiet, presumably not to inform his parents as to what he was doing. And eventually I was like, all right, man, like, thank you very much for the value. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not looking for this sort of arrangement right now. I think that my reaction is probably the nicest reaction you're going to get at that age. Better to just do something like get some sort of introductory sales gig or intern or volunteer at an organization that does outbound. These are very, very, very valuable skills. And if you can get in early, and you can like really architect those mental models, you can internalize them from like 14 to like 16 or 17. Then like when you're in a slightly more mature position and you actually create a business where you have to do some sort of sales flow, you're going to crush it regardless. Otherwise, I would recommend just picking a business model that doesn't require you to put your face all over stuff or like talk to people in person, which is doable as well. It just obviously depends on the business model you want to start. NSound says, can I join the school community if I have no AI automation experience? Yes, absolutely. Yes. Hey, Mahmoud, what's going on, big dog? Mahmoud was one of the earliest people in Maker School. Congrats, man. It's great having you and great seeing you crush it. The 6T Opal is coming for Gun Loop and N8N. Oh, no. What are we going to do? All right, one more from Jake. By far the best content in the space. Appreciate it. Actually, you know what? Sorry, Jake. I don't have the time. I got a call that's coming up that I got prepped for. Okay. I will help you with this tomorrow, as well as anybody else that asks me questions. Thanks so much for all this stuff, guys. So, update on me. I've decided I'm going to become jacked. I'm going to be huge. Okay. I just finished this big blog post analyzing kind of where I want to go with my life and a few of the things I want to do. And one of them is get into impeccable shape over the course of the next 6 months. So that is a big major update for me. I was on a call with Jack Roberts the other day, and Jack has been training like nonstop. He did some bulk and he did like cutting or whatever. And I was just like struck by how tiny and meek I looked in comparison. I was like, Jack, what's the secret? And he's like, well, I work out. When's the last time you hit the gym? And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. So anyway, I got a couple priorities over the course of the next few months. I've decided I'm going to be jacked. Also, me consuming like 2 hours of Alex Hormozy content yesterday was helpful. Man, I don't know how that guy fits through doors, man. He's freaking huge. But yeah, that's going to be pretty fun. So I'm going to be like the jacked rich dude. I'm looking forward to that. Just working out like a bunch of tracking and, programming and stuff like that. I mean, I've hit the gym before. I used to be into powerlifting way back in the day, but I've lost like 15, almost 20 pounds over the course of the last 2 years of just like going ham on the business. So yeah, just a priority thing. But that's one cool thing that I'm definitely looking forward to doing over the course of the next few months. So hopefully you'll just see me fill up the entire frame of this camera over time. And now that I've made my intentions public, there's no way I can squirm away from them like I normally do. That's going to be pretty fun. What else? Finish this big blog post on directions with my life. So if you guys want to read it, head over to this one here, the next few months of my life. And then I have like a couple of main goals that I want to achieve over the course of the next while. So strong, rewarding relationships, health, both in my body and my mind, the ability, not obligation, to exercise my curiosity to its fullest, and then the opportunity to use my unique set of skills to positively benefit the world. Eventually, once you get going and then you make some money, you do start asking yourself like, hey, what's this all for? How can I provide more value to people to a much greater degree than the value that I ever received from all these people? And that's what this blog post is about. It's 9,000 words. Took me a couple days to write. Very fun time. Every time I've ever written one of these, it's basically directly correlated with a massive improvement in whatever metric I care about. So my hope is that by making my intentions public and making my goals known like this, I will be able to achieve all of the things I want and more. But I break my goals down into actionables, and then I talk about how I'm going to save time. So I'm going to save a significant amount of my current day by restructuring my time obligations, hiring somebody to help me with like admin and email management and so on and so forth. And then, basically just wanted to fill you guys in on that. So that's pretty exciting. Anyway, let's now move down to brand stats. I'm doing this at the end instead of in the middle. Why? Because I just figure fewer people really care about this. So let's do it. 552 subscribers gained on the main channel since yesterday. Looks like we have a lot more gained on the daily updates channel since yesterday. This is growing much faster than the main channel. I guess that's to be expected, right? And then this over here is at 290,356. We should cross 300K sometime in the next, I guess, like 6 days, just based off trajectory, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, things are going pretty well on that front. Really appreciate you guys sticking with me, listening to me yap. Tomorrow I'm going to do a breakdown of the Alex Hormozi, Sam Ovens talk that I did together with them, the little photo that you guys saw in that blog post earlier. So if you guys want to hear more about how that worked and sort of the play-by-play and my thoughts on it, yeah, stick around for tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to checking in with y'all in 24 hours. Thanks so much for the time, guys. Cheers.